post-renal AKI. So I did pre-renal. So today I'm going to do renal and post-renal AKI. So when I talk about renal AKI, now the problem is not outside the kidney. The problem is about the kidney. So what are some of the conditions that could lead to renal AKI? It's not all conditions that could lead to renal AKI. But what are some of the conditions that could lead to renal AKI? And what are some of the causes that will lead to certain conditions? So we have causes that will lead to certain conditions of renal AKI. So let's talk about some of the causes that could lead to, say, we have condition like ATN, acute tubular necrosis, is one of the causes of renal AKI. And what could lead to ATN, acute tubular necrosis? What could lead to that? So let's talk about some of the causes that could lead to renal AKI. Please, if you don't understand, let me know. Don't let me drag to a point, then you come back to tell me that you don't understand. If you don't understand, just point it out for me to break and explain. So the renal AKI. So we have variety of causes that will lead to renal AKI. Variety of causes. The causes could be divided basically into two. So the causes could be divided into endogenous, causes or factors, and exogenous. So we have exogenous and endogenous factors or causes of certain condition that could lead to AKI. So you could have endogenous causes, and that could be hypertension, be sepsis, there could be nephrotoxic agents. Nephrotoxic agents could be endogenous and could also be exogenous. Nephrotoxic agents could be endogenous and exogenous. You could have exogenous, endogenous, and exogenous. So for exogenous, put it down. For exogenous, we could have chemical poisons. We could have poisoning. We could have medications. These medications, some of the medication which is exogenous could trigger endogenous causes. Example is if we take statins or fibrates. Fibrates will cause damage to the muscles, rhabdomyolysis. And these rhabdomyolysis will cause a release of myoglobin. And this myoglobin is an endogenous factor that could lead to renal AKI. So I'm saying basically for renal AKI, we have endogenous and exogenous factors. Some of the endogenous factors are hemoglobin. When you have hemoglobin can also cause damage to the kidney, myoglobin. You can also have crystals, endogenous. I'm talking about endogenous. You can also have crystals. certain crystals like uric acid, phosphate accumulation. Phosphate accumulation can cause damage to the kidneys. There could be toxic products from sepsis or tumor. If a patient gets sepsis or tumor, a toxic product from sepsis or tumor can lead to renal AKI. So we have endogenous. So exogenous could be the poisons that I was talking about. Chemical poison. It could also be as a result of medication. Medication like NSAIDs could lead to that. Medications like amphotericin B could also lead to renal AKI. So note this, some of the exogenous could trigger endogenous factors that could lead to acute AKI. Renal AKI. Some of the exogenous, like certain medication, we talk about fibrates, and fibrates will cause a damage to the muscles, and that will release myoglobin. Myoglobin or hemoglobin in the system, excessive hemoglobin and myoglobin will lead to, could damage the renal and could lead to renal AKI. So please note this. And what are some of the conditions that these exogenous factors and endogenous factors could cause? They could cause a damage to the kidney. What are some of the conditions that could result from this? And that will lead to renal AKI. So when you take the kidney, you could divide the kidney into this. We have the glomerulus, and within the glomerulus, we have the capillaries. So within the Bowman capsules, we have these capillaries. So these are the Bowman capsules, and within the Bowman capsules, we have the glomerulus. These capillaries there could be a damage, and you could have tubes. You could have these loops. So we have these tubes, and there could be a damage to these tubes, and there could be a damage to the cells, the parenchyma cells here. I just want to make it simple for you. So there could be a damage here as a result of endogenous or exogenous factors. There could be a damage to the tubes, and there could be a damage to the parenchyma cells around the nephrons. So based upon this, we could have what we call acute tubular necrosis. Acute tube. Now the tube necrosis, there's necrosis. Necrosis affecting the tube. And these necrosis could be as a result of hypotension. If we take, let me go back a little. If you take the kidney, the kidney is divided basically into two. We have the cortex and we have the medulla. The medulla is also divided into two. We have the outer, please can you mute? We have the inner medulla and we have the outer medulla. We have the inner medulla.
Hello. Hello, Dr. Attakorah. Please, I think he has a question. He wants to ask a question.
You can ask. I'm hearing voices, noise, not. Who is asking a question? You can ask. Hillary.
Hello.
Who
Please,
is
I'm going.
asking a question?
Mr. Samuel, please, you raised your hand.
Because I'm using the board, I can't see your hand, so ask your question, please.
Please, I think he's okay.
Who is Samuel? Okay. So I said that for the kidney, it's basically divided into two. We have the cortex and the medulla. And the medulla is also divided into two. We have the inner medulla and we have the outer medulla. And this is the inner medulla. This is the outer medulla. Listen, the inner medulla contains, I told you that if you take the nephrons, we have the thick loops are always found in the cortex, but some of the thick loops are found in the medulla. Some of the thick loops are found in the medulla. And listen, those thick loops found in the medulla are found in the inner area. I'm saying that for the medulla, we have the outer and we have the inner. So the thick loop is always found in the inner medulla. And the inner medulla is where we have massive activity going on. Because I told you there will be an exchange. So if there's reduction or if there's hypoperfusion, it tends to affect that area. I'm taking it again. I'm saying that the thick loop, if you take this, let me clean this. Okay, so we have the Bowman capsules. It's descending. We have this is to be the cortex, this to be the medulla, and this medulla is divided. And we have this coming here. When it comes here, this thick loop, this is the boundary, corticomedullary boundary here. And this thick will descend, this thick loop will descend. When they get into the outer, then there will be this. Please, do you follow? And there will also be a